County wildfire. In this new video, you can see the scope of the devastation in Paradise. ABC News today was given the first aerial tour with the California National Guard. A landscape of destruction just as far as the eye can see. Then suddenly, scattered buildings untouched by the flames. These tragedies sometimes can be so indiscriminate.
Oh, really? Sometimes these tragedies can be so indiscriminate. I didn't know fire was so selective. Could burn down all the buildings here, but for some reason this one was magically spared. You see that? And then all the trees in the middle of these buildings that were completely leveled are fine. When you look at all pictures of previous wildfires, where you can clearly see the path of the fire wherever it traveled, and if it leveled the building, you can be damn sure that it left the trees completely burnt into blackened stumps. So this is not normal, and even the anchor man is apparently doubting it himself. So the point I wanted to make today is you can see how many fires, 250 wildfires that started in October 2017. That is not normal. But the point I'm trying to make is not whether, to try to prove to you what's going on here. The point of this video is to talk about dates and the fact that how dates can be used in rituals and witchcraft. So let me pull this up. So it says here on this website how to use the power of numbers in witchcraft. And you scroll down, it says the importance of certain numbers. This person is even saying, look, go ahead, cast your spell on the 5th day of the week, Thursday on the 5th day of the month at 5 o'clock. So clearly, when you are practicing witchcraft and rituals, you are definitely taking numbers into account and dates, the days of the week. So I want to bounce back over here, and I want to point out that the largest, deadliest, and most destructive wildfires California has ever seen all occurred this year. The fires are only getting stronger, and it's not due to, well, it is due to climate change that's man-made on purpose. Climate manipulation is more like it. So we see in all these lists, the largest wildfires, July 2018, Mendocino Complex. Deadliest, Camp Fire, November 2018. And most destructive, Camp, November 2018. And right underneath it is the Tubbs Fire. So the Tubbs Fire started October 9th, 2017 at around 9:43 p.m. The Camp Fire started November 8th around 6:33 a.m., which is an occult number, and it was 13 months after the Tubbs Fire. And also, let's go back and study our history. What else took place on October 8th? And it was a Sunday, just so you know. Sunday for the Tubbs Fire and Sunday for the Peshtigo Fire, October 8th, 1871. Peshtigo, Wisconsin. Sorry if I am not pronouncing that right. But basically, let's see, it was 2017 and this is 1871. So you switch the 7 and the 1 and the 17, you get 17. Excuse me. So, yes, I have been sick throughout all this smoke. The 13 days of smoke we saw, I have been sick the entire time, congested, hacking, wheezing, and it's still not getting any better now that I finally have some clean air to breathe. Hopefully it'll go away. but I did my best not to breathe any of this. We also have the Great Chicago Fire, which started on the same day as the Peshtigo Fire. And these were massive fires. I'm not saying by any means they were started by directed energy weapons. What I am saying, though, is if they were going to plan a direct attack on us, burn down an entire town, target the people, not give them proper warning, burn them alive in their vehicles, because I've never heard of a wildfire that was people were completely overcome with flames all of a sudden on all sides. They had no chance to even escape their burning vehicles because there was flames on all sides, and you can guarantee that if they weren't surrounded by flames, they would have gotten out of the vehicle and started running. If the fire was traveling faster than they could drive, they would at least start running, because that's the will to survive. So this is very strange. I just made this image. You can compare the stats of all the fires: the Camp Fire, the Woolsey Fire, Great Chicago. Peshtigo is 3 syllables, like paradise, Peshtigo, and tubs. So I just think it's very interesting, the connection of all these fires. You see November 8th, November 8th, October 8th, October 8th, October 8th. And I don't think that's a coincidence. Just like I don't think it's a coincidence that Trump said pleasure, and then he was corrected and said paradise right after. So that's straight out of a movie, Pleasure Paradise, with a character based off of Donald Trump. So this is just something to think about. I like to notice, all the connections and patterns and things. I think it's human nature to do that, to look for the pattern and things. It's probably based on survival instinct. It's definitely a survival instinct that humans pay more attention to sinister news. That's why the news uses sensationalism, because it's a survival tactic to actually pay more attention to something bad that is happening, so you can get out of that situation. So that's a survival tactic, or I mean instinct. So on November 8th, what else happened? Donald Trump was elected. And also, I find it very interesting that John Kerry went to Antarctica on the presidential election date. Why would he do that? Why would he go to another continent the day we're supposed to be having a presidential election? So that's interesting also. And one last thing, I have to keep this video short because I use free software and it only gives me 10 minutes, but I just kind of started doing this whole Gematria thing, and it's very interesting. Because these shootings are also connected to the fire. Last year we had a shooting in a fire, this year a shooting in a fire, and this year it was on the same day. And last year they were a week apart. But you type in the Las Vegas shooting address of the Mandalay Bay Hotel, you get that number. You type in the address of the Thousand Oaks shooting, you get that same number. Here's the Vegas shooter, 68. The Thousand Oaks shooter, 68. The Camp Fire, 145. Woolsey Fire, 145. So I don't know why it just works out like this, but that's what I'm saying. When there's magic spells and rituals going down, you're gonna see a lot of this. So anyway, that's my video. I'm trying to keep it short, and just wanted to point out some things I noticed, especially that fire in 1871. That is weird, because all 3 dates were used were October 8th was always a Sunday. So something to think about. Here was a Sunday, and a Sunday. Okay, happy Thanksgiving. I'm super thankful I can breathe again.